The power of belief creates the power of internal motivation. Motivation is a drive that encourages action. So what are the types of motivations that you can have that encourages you to go? One is incentive-based motivation, meaning if you do this, you will get this. If you do so many apps, you get 120%. So that means there is an incentive, and because there is an incentive, you get motivated and you work very hard to achieve that incentive. And what's your motivation to work very hard? Is the incentive. The problem with this, right, is this. Short term, it's good, but long term, it's hard to sustain the incentives. The problem is it's very hard to continue an incentive-driven motivation to last long term. Short term, okay, it gets the job done. So it's more like a band-aid, but not a fix for your motivation. So at a company level, at an individual level, incentive motivation is good for short term, but not so good if you want to stay motivated for long term. Got it? Okay. The second type of motivation is by fear. So you have fear. How many of you have fear of snakes? Like you are scared to death. I don't like snakes. Anyone else like me? Like you're very scared of snakes? Very, very, very scared of snakes. So me and Kenna, we are very scared of snakes. If me and Kenna, if we see a snake somewhere, probably we might break Usain Bolt's world record in running. Not because we are good at running, because the fear motivates us to run really fast than what we can ever do. You take the snake off, we will not run so fast. You put the snake, we are flying almost, and we don't care. So fear is something that you use for motivation also. So you can motivate them by giving a bit of fear. Short term, it works. But long term, every time you come back with a fear, it has to be a bigger fear. And I'm talking about this topic with all of you because all of you are at the stage where you're having a new trainee, or you're about to build a team, or you already have leaders and stuff. So incentives is one way of motivating your team, motivating yourself. Fear is one way of motivating your team, motivating yourself. Sometimes you use it, but just remember it's not sustainable for long term. Short term, it gets the job done. Okay? Third one, which is motivation by belief, which is, I call it as internal motivation. So incentive is external. Someone gives you incentive. That means you give your team incentive. If you hit leadership criteria, I'm going to buy you this. It's an incentive, external. If you don't do this, this is going to happen from me. Fear, external. Internal motivation comes from belief. The power of belief creates the power of internal motivation. So you want to motivate your team, give them belief that they can be successful. That's how you motivate your team. You got to almost implant the belief in your team members. People always ask me, Vishnu, what's the best tip that you can give people when you're training people? The best thing you can ever do when you're training people is give them abundance of confidence. You got to give them so much confidence. How do you install confidence? Through words, through actions. Every close, good job. Every stop, good job. Every presentation, high five. Every presentation I give, high five. The best motivation to have, is actually the idea of supporting or helping someone other than you. that motivation actually lasts longer than trying to do something for yourself on a long term. So what goals do you have, and how big are they? Will your challenges eat your goals, or will your goals eat your challenges? And if your goals are small, it's very hard. Your challenges will eat your goals. And I'm sure all of you know, Kenan knows, Tom knows, you guys know, as you go from leader to team leader to senior team, there'll be some new challenges. Managing 5-6 people is not easy. Managing 5-6 people's emotions is not easy, and everyone is different on your team. Their motivations are different, and trying to manage that is just not easy. Managing 15 people is not easy. So you'll be going through a lot of challenges. Where is your source of motivation, and how big are your goals that will motivate you?